Welcome back to Askewed Reviews. And today I'm reviewing a film that just recently came to streaming, and it was at the request of the people who actually helped create the movie. The movie that I'm referring to is the 2025 film The Fetus, directed and written by Joe Lamb. So if you, like me, grew up absolutely loving B horror movies, this is one I definitely recommend you checking out. But in case my endorsement is not enough, let me tell you more about the movie itself. In this film, we have our two main characters of Alessa and Chris. Now, they are a couple and have been together for at least a little bit of time so far. Now, after their most recent session of lovemaking, Chris notices that the prophylactic that he purchased unfortunately burst open. So he makes the poor decision of not really mentioning anything at first. Alessa, however, though, is able to figure this out pretty quickly, as when meeting with her gynecologist, she is told that she is in fact pregnant. Now, Alessa, of course, has every right to be frustrated with Chris about this whole situation. However, though, there does seem to be something else at hand here. Alessa explains to Chris that her body works a little bit differently, and things seem to happen a bit faster for her. When some strange things start happening, Chris suggests that they go to the hospital. But Alessa explains that if she were to ever become pregnant, she actually needs to go and speak to her blind father, who lives in the middle of the woods. This is obviously a very strange and odd request, but Chris agrees to it, and the two of them then go drive off to meet Maddox. From here, we begin to learn a few things: Maddox's backstory, how strong the love is between Alessa and Chris, and the fact that this fetus is anything but a bundle of joy. So I won't say anything more about the plot from here because I want you to check this out for yourselves and discover the story on your own. I really enjoyed the performances in this movie by our main cast, comprised of Lauren Lavera, Bill Moseley, and Julian Curtis. As a bit of a heads up, I will say this: give the movie some time to really come into its own. I like the story, but I do feel like a good portion of the beginning, maybe even up to the middle and a little bit past, it kind of feels like we're rushing much further into this story and things are happening very quickly. I will say, though, they do a good job of, as the movie is continuing, we start to get a bit more backstory on these characters, but I kind of would have liked to know them a little bit better from the beginning, so I had a little bit more investment right from the start. So, at least for me on my scale, I'm going to give The Fetus a 3 out of 5. And if you'd like to check it out for yourselves, it is currently streaming, but only on video on demand. But you can find it on Prime, Apple, Google, and YouTube. Now, if so far none of what I've said has convinced you about seeing it yet, one other thing I do want to mention is I actually had the opportunity at a couple different conventions to run into some of not only the cast, but the crew that actually made this film, and there are some really wonderful people. So, if nothing else, help support them and have an ability to continue and make their dreams come true. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Skewed Reviews. And if there's any other films coming out that you think I should do a review for, please let me know in the comments.